So for today's class, our roadmap is going to be business. We're going to learn about business and logos, modern notaries, missing marketing opportunities as a bilingual notary, types of audience, strategic ways of marketing, building partnership, and last Q&A. The way I learned, and I wanted to make this presentation very simple, nothing crazy, nothing luxurious or anything, just plain English. And hopefully this is going to be a great presentation for all of you, and hopefully you walk away with something new today. When I learn something, I always like to ask why. Why am I doing it, right? Sometimes, and most of the times I would say, we always learn things, but we don't really question like why is done the way it's done, right? So I think that learning about our logos before we get into missing marketing opportunities, it's great to learn about them. Missed marketing opportunities for bilingual notaries. My name is Manuel Puga. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Spanish notary instructor for Notary Stars. And today we're going to explore the missed opportunities for bilingual notaries, such as apostille services, translation services, notary services in general, but specifically in hospitals, jail facilities, and healthcare facilities as well. I would like to start off, and I would like to see who is going brave enough to come up on mute and tell me what are these logos. Can you recognize any of them? And this is not a tricky question.
Are you sharing your screen, Manuel?
I am. You're not seeing anything?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
See you.
Yeah, got your beautiful face.
Okay, how about now?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Starbucks.
All right.
Toyota. Tesla.
Nike.
Nike.
All right. Now,
iPhone.
awesome. Good. Did anybody say anything about the Apple, like the brand?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you notice, there's no writing right, no letters, not anything right. But in fact, you most of you recognize it, and maybe all of you recognize, right, the symbols, the logos, right? These companies serve a purpose, right? Like they are like we see them almost every day, everywhere, right? How about this logo?
Ronnie, I'm just kidding. Notary Stars.
Notary
Okay.
Stars. Notary sign.
All right. So yesterday I emailed Miss Beth my presentation, and I'm like, please, Miss Beth, give me any feedback, right? So Mrs. Beth came back with this. Notary Stars got me thinking about Notary Stars logo and how it imparts community.
So I love that picture of Luca going down the slide and Izzy's like ready to catch her.
Okay, I'm going to mute these people. I'm sorry, Manuel.
No, you're good. It happens.
Oh gosh, I can't mute. I don't have powers. There we go. I'm sorry. Continue.
All right. So most of you probably recognize our logo, right? Notary Stars. So I was saying that yesterday I emailed Ms. Beth my presentation, and I asked her to give me his input, right? So she came back and said, hey, it got me thinking about Notary Stars logo and how it imparts community with the circle, and the star shows mastery and excellence, and maybe glow behind the star lights the way for all notaries. And I was taken aback. I was like, you know what? That's exactly who we are, right? That's who we are, notaries. But my question to you all is, what do you recognize these logos, right? And simple words is, logos are designed to be instantly recognizable, even at glance. Let's see. Logos are just far from just logos, right? And for those of you who already created your logo, I am not persuading you to change it. I'm just giving you, for those of you who have not created a logo, that you guys are just using your name, before you choose a logo, choose it with the purpose, right? For marketing. Repetition and consistency, that's all about logos, right? Companies use their logo everywhere, packaging, ads, products, website, uniforms, right? And that's what we want to do as a notary, right? The color. Um, Another thing I want to say is this is not a psychology class, right? I researched um, logos, about logos, and this is what I came out with. So Coca-Cola, for instance, use the red color, right? That for them, it means excitement, energy, attention, and grabbing. For Facebook and Ford, blue color, it means for them trust, stability, and reliability. The For Apple, the beaten apple, it illustrates knowledge and discovery. And it's very simple, that aligns with product philosophy, and they believe in that they are an innovative company, right? For Starbucks, the siren symbolizes temptation, and a lure matching coffee's addictive appeal. The circle represents community and connection. So if you think about it, they don't just choose any logo, right? They always creating logos with purpose, and that's what we want to do, right? Emotional association also has to do with logos. Brands attach meaning an emotion to the logo through its storytelling and experiences. Every time you see a logo, your brain recalls, right? So remember, our brains always likes to remember simple things, right? Just nothing crazy. And without words, you guys just recognize all of the logos that I just showed you. Also, logos has to do with culture of saturation. The more you see something, the more it becomes part of your social media. So we're talking about like your Google business profile, your local business, your website, right? When you market your business and people start seeing your logo, your face, then they start making that connection, right? Symbolic design has to do also with logos. Great logos often hidden meaning of visual storytelling, like FedEx, right? Speed and direction, or like Amazon, right? Like a smiley face. That means for them, it's customer satisfaction. And last but not least, and this is for me, the by far the most important, right? Your brand personality. How are you interacting with your clients at when you first met them, right? When you first use your services, uh, that has to do a lot with your logo. Also trustworthy, right? Like how trustworthy are you with them, right? It becomes part of your identity, basically. Part of your logo doesn't stop there. It connects your language, your communication, and your services you provide or facilitate. But the next slide, this is nothing new. I'm sure that you guys have heard about this, but I still wanted to bring it up. Types of customers, right? So you have three types of customers that see your business: online visibility, word of mouth, and interacting in person, right? Whether it are in meetings or social gatherings in your community. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to ask Ronnie if he would like to add anything to the information that I just gave out.
Yes, I do want to talk about one thing on the logos, and I just wanted to put in a little tidbit, and this is a mistake that I made with my own logo. Funny that you're doing this. I barely looked over your slides today because I have a lot to talk about when it comes to marketing. But funny that this is one of your topics today because I'm literally sitting here helping another notary redesign their logo, and I made the huge mistake years ago. You all know that I own Unlimited Ink Notary, which was a huge mistake because it was a really long name. I always have to say it's Unlimited INK Notary and spell it out for them. And I've been doing that for the last, decade now. When it comes to our logo was so busy. It was really hard to monogram onto other products and services. And only recently we've gone, so we own Unlimited Ink Notary, Find a Notary, apostilleagent.com, Notary Stars, another website that's coming out, and we decided to recently logos and do what Manuel's talking about, make them more simple and make them more brand recognizable. So if you own other companies, and I actually took that order because they own a bunch of companies and they made all the logos the same color. So no matter what roof you're under, you recognize that company. But the simplicity, when you said that part about keeping it simple, a recognizable image, I see a lot of problems with notaries hiring designers who do not understand what we do for a living, self-included. I hired as a designer when we got the first Unlimited Ink logo, the first mainstream one, that did not understand our company. And then I was afraid to change it years later. If you are going to go to a more simpler aspect of your logo, don't be afraid to do that. People update their logos over the years, and now I've gotten less afraid to do it. But you're exactly right on the point of keeping it simple and to the point of something that represents what you're doing and who you are to your business, because that is a huge missed opportunity. And what I see a lot of times is people getting logos from people because they're on Fiverr and they're like, okay, and they look great, but they're too busy. There's too many components to them to actually use them. With this logo that you see on the screen for Notary Stars, I'm sure you guys see it. We slide the star off of the center of the little coin look to it, and we're able to place that star easily onto things, monogram it onto cards, monogram it onto Instagram, or use the circular piece itself. When it becomes too busy, it becomes too hard to do those things and use your own logo. And if there's a ton of colors involved, which you can see there's basically 3 real colors in this logo, they just kind of create a shimmer. That actually makes it easier to use your own logo in a very diverse way. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on that because I love that you're doing this. If you could see my other screen right now, which I'm not going to show anybody, I'm actually sitting here trying very hard to undo what I just explained for another notary that's working with me on the websites. So thanks for pointing that out to everyone, Manuel, because I didn't have those words. Like, I don't know how to explain that to people. And I love that you pinpointed that without us even conferring about it.
Thank you, Ronnie. All right, so then my next slide is just very self-explanatory, right? Online visibility, people see you on your Google business profile, your website, also on social media, like, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, right? People visit you on your website if you have one. People who see your business also online directories such as Yelp. That's a big one. Word of mouth, right? So you obviously provide services to one client, right? That client, if they like your services, right, they're gonna keep referring you. The next one, interacting, right? Going to your local events, right? Attending, talking to people, right? Introducing, not only attending, but tell them what you do for a living, right? Tell them, hey, I'm a notary. I'm located in this city, right? I provide, and tell them all the services that you provide, right? So that it can help you, people recognize you, and also, obviously, they're gonna know what you do for a living, right? So they're gonna keep sending business your way. So how do customers connect with our business logo and us as a notaries, right? By far, personality, true personality, caring, understanding, charismatic, helping or assisting. Do you go out of your way to assist your clients after business hours? Convenience. Do you offer office or mobile notary services? Do you provide notary services after hours at hospital, healthcare, nursing facilities, or jail facilities? Trust and credibility. Do you charge what your state allows you to charge? Do you charge for providing bilingual notary services? Right. So if someone speaks Spanish, do I charge for more for that? Absolutely not. Bilingual communication, right? Do you speak more than one language, right? I'm not sure if the notary, I forgot her name, but I remember her because she speaks 4 languages, right? So the more languages you speak, the more clients you're going to bring, right? Professionalism and reliability. Do you arrive on time at your notary appointments? Do you cancel appointments at the last minute? Urgent needs. Do you assist clients after your notary services business hours? Do you specialize or specialized knowledge? Do you specialize in services you're providing, such as apostille services or translations? Community. Do you happen to attend your local events? That's what we just talked about, right? Affordability and transparency. Do you overcharge for your services? Are your fees reasonable? Uh, do you charge extra just because you are the only notary in that specific city, right? So all of that, it's part of your logo and how customers are gonna uh, remember you. Uh, let's recap, right? So far we have talked about logos, type of customers, connection between business, logos, notaries, and customers. And before I go on to the next slide, Ronnie, would you like to add anything?
Yes. So one opportunity for bilingual notaries that I've noticed, and you guys, I go to a lot of conferences, and so I do see that there are bilingual signing services out there, and I will tell you that one of the greatest mistakes that I see, actually from one of the industry leaders who I consider that they may or may not consider themselves a competitor, but when I'm standing next to them, I I just have to tell you, I watch them go up, and when they talk, they say, "We can handle all of your bilingual signings, all of your Spanish speaking signings, or that sort of thing." Let me tell you, this is a marketing move to advertise only one language. There is the word "bi" at the beginning of language or of lingual. Bilingual. That means you speak two languages. This means you have two lanes on the road to capture business. Okay. So when you go in saying, "I can handle all your Spanish speaking signings," you are telling your customer immediately, "I can't handle your English speaking signings." That's what they're hearing in the back of their mind. And they're only putting you in that lane of Spanish speaking, or if you're speaking another language other than English and you're saying, "I can handle all your Russian signings," because it's not just about bilingual as Spanish, although there's a huge market for this. Um, Make sure that you're letting your customers know that you can handle English and Spanish. And if you are growing a signing service, it will be to your detriment to say, "We can handle all your Spanish speaking signings," because what they're going to say is, "Great, I'll keep my partnership with the one who can handle English or Spanish," because they're going to ask the English speaking company, "Can you handle Spanish too?" And everybody knows that everybody has the same pool of notaries, whether they're on Jot, Signing Order, Notary Dash, Zig Sig, or SnapDocs. The same notary pool exists. So don't put yourself into a box. Realize that you're promoting that you speak two languages and that you can make things easier for them on both sides of the fence. I see this as a huge mistake in conversation, and I've had it happen to me. Same competitor, quote, came to my home for an event and said, "I want all of your Spanish speaking business." And I thought, "I'm discounting you already because you just told me you only want to do half of what you're capable of doing." I immediately went and say you only want to work with Spanish speaking clients. You speak English just fine. So you want to make sure that you grab both sides of the road going forward, guys. You want to make sure that you understand that you have an opportunity on both lanes, not just one lane. And I'll leave it at that. But I with the whole mixers and conferences or anywhere you're going, make sure that you are confidently knowledgeable that if you speak another language and you're bilingual, that you can handle more work. You can do more with your voice. You can do more with your brain than someone like myself who is only on level 2 of Duolingo.
Ronnie, I have just one question. How a notary could be affected with signing service companies when they tell you, I am a bilingual, right? I can provide you the services that you're needing, but this is going to cost you extra because one, I speak that language and I'm the only, not the only, but one of a few notaries in my area.
The
Have you
worst,
ever have you
the
ever
wor-
encountered that?
The worst review that you will ever get in signing order, SnapDoc, ZigSig is if you tell a signing service or a title company, that you charge more for Spanish. And I just want to remind you, if you speak any language and you charge more for it, especially if you were born speaking that language and then you learned another language, or if you were brought up with both of them, that's just your lot in life, and you are lucky because it opens more doors for you. But to charge more for a language that you were born speaking, the next time your grandmother goes to the grocery store, I hope they mark up the bill if she has to speak to someone in Spanish, because that's just wrong. You shouldn't charge more just because you can, and you don't want people charging you more if you prefer to speak Spanish. So you can't charge more to a title company just because they speak, or to a signing service just because. And I had a notary last week who told me, well, I add so much more value because I speak two languages. And I thought, well, great. I'm sure someone will hire you, but this will be the last time we work together. She took the order, she went to service the order, and then refused to ship the documents because she wanted $25 more because she was bilingual. And that will be her last time. And I made sure to put a nice comment on signing order for all companies to see. And, I gave her my evil eye through the phone. And, I had to do it to get those shipped. But then when that gets out, I can check that in about a month, and I guarantee you that will snowball into people wanting to not work with a person who does that. I hate to sound so harsh about it, but I find it kind of offensive. I don't speak two languages. Okay, I studied French for 7 years, still aren't fluent in it. Working on Duolingo now because I learned Spanish. Um, but I don't find it to be fair. So I live right next to a huge Spanish speaking community, Glendale. I rarely get asked to go into Glendale to do a signing. I have friends who are notaries who are bilingual, and they are busier than myself, and they have more opportunity than myself. And then to have more opportunity to sign. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get fair rates. That's not what I'm saying at all. But to charge more than a fair rate and slap a sticker on it that says, because I speak another language, that's just wrong. You weren't asked to speak another language, you were born speaking another language. And you always have to ask yourself, would you want a signing agent to charge your mother, your father, your grandmother, your daughter, your brother more because they're being spoke to in the language that they understand the best? So I'll leave it at that. Thanks for letting me go off for a minute on that, and Manuel. I feel very passionate about it.
Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie. This brings us to the next point. So what I have seen lately, it's two types of modern notaries, right? Type one, it's everybody who is here, right? Notaries, we notaries discover and explore new ways to generate more income. That's us. Notaries obtain the proper and continued education, right? That's us again, right? Notary Stars dedicated to excellence. Everybody who is a part of Notary Stars, we dedicate ourselves like for more. We're always hungry for more education, right? We want to learn more. We prepare to perform and facilitate the services offered to the public. And we generally become the bridge or glue between clients and companies. And therefore, with our education, we are able to generate more income, right? We dedicate ourselves to learn our notary laws, right? We learn how to facilitate translations and apostille services, right? So the more services, the more extra revenue we make. Type two, similar to type one, but with one big difference. All they want is, I want to make money, money, money. And that's not how we are or what we are here at Notary Stars. These notaries, I see them like they start very happy, very enthusiasm to become a notary, right? But they are not told, or that they are told that they're going to make a lot of money, six figures, right? When they get there, they don't know what to do, right? They just don't know how to do work. And making or earning six figures go out the door. Type two notaries find ways to keep the transaction moving. And what I hear a lot is the work around it, right? And then we have to remember that we notaries, we are not authorized to decide which notarial certificate to use. This is the work around it. I frequently hear it when somebody is requesting an apostille, right? Um, that needs to be apostille in a different state, right? But a lot of notaries are learning like there is a work around it. I'm not saying that it's they're doing something illegal. It can be done, but the question is, will the receiving company accept this document, right, as the work around it? That's the main key. With this, the mismarketing opportunities that I see frequently, notaries not advertising, it's apostille, translation, and notarizations at hospital, jail, or nursing facilities. Also, estate planning and courier service. It's also, I wouldn't say the big one, but also that if we are helping a client notarizing estate planning, right, we often forget that we can, if allowed in your state, you can also facilitate courier services, right, like recording documents for them. Offering those services help to make more revenue. Also, the big one is partnering with other notaries, right? This is huge. So it doesn't mean because I am in California, I can still help out or assist the client, right? If I know that, for instance, I know several notaries in Arizona, right? That if somebody comes to me and they want to get their document apostille, not necessarily I'm going to do it myself, but I'm going to call that notary to facilitate the service for me. So everybody makes some revenue, right? With this order, and most importantly, we help the client. Speaking more than one language, open more doors for more revenue. Bilingual notaries hold a unique advantage in today's world. Like Ronnie was saying, like you speak more than one language, right? It's huge, right? You cover more ground. This presentation, the primary objective is to highlight the missed marketing opportunities and strategies that can help you make more or increase your revenue streams. And I like what Ronnie says, how Ronnie says it, right? To not leave any dollar on the table. So if your client is hiring you for an notarization, ask, do you need, and if you know that that specific document is going to be used out of the USA, always ask, do you need this to be translated? Do you need this to be apostille, right? And pretty much become the one-stop shop for all customers. And this applies not only for like whoever speaks Spanish and English, this applies for everyone that speaks a second language, a third language. Apostille services, you can market it locally or nationally, right? There's a huge opportunity for that. And Ronnie, can you elaborate on how they can market it locally and nationally as far as apostille services?
I can, but I actually want to back up for just one moment here because I want to make sure that we don't miss this magical opportunity. Now, for those of you that are a part of my marketing class and have the nationwide websites, it is a task to undertake. It costs me a little bit of money to do it myself, but I want to point out two things actually. So you're looking at the Notary Star logo on the screen, and Manuel, if you don't mind, can I share my screen for one moment to show this magical marketing opportunity? Now you'll see the Notary Star logo, and if you just joined us, we talked about keeping your logo simple and also keeping branding pretty coherent. So we wanted to make sure on this website, which is one of the sites that we own, you can see when you see that certified logo up there, even if you were to go from Notary Star to certified, you can tell that that's the same company, right? We're just doing a certified rendition. Now, document translations and apostille are something that you can do across the country. Now, here's what you need to do with your websites. And we do have an ability, if you're in my marketing class and use our marketing template to do this. If you are bilingual, check out this button here. Now, it is a task, okay? And I've already taught it in my marketing class, but those websites can be easily translated into Spanish. Now, this just went live last week with this, and there are some things that we have to go through, but your order forms on your website, I'll go over to Unlimited Ink, but you can take a look at this order form as well. This order form, you can see that I have it Spanish as well. So if people are on, I want to talk about not missing that opportunity. If you're advertising document translations or apostille, I can't tell you how many people call and I don't speak Spanish and I don't even know enough Spanish. That's why I started doing legal. And I've been practicing little bits with Manuel at meetings. You're missing an opportunity, a huge missed marketing opportunity if you are bilingual, not to put your website into the languages that you speak. Because the customers that come to your website, if they speak Spanish, their browsers are set to search in Spanish. So you're missing the keywords that they're searching for because they're going to be different words. Now, when it comes to marketing nationwide, yes, document translations you can do nationwide. If you live in a Spanish-speaking community and you think, okay, well, if I go 5 blocks to the west, everybody speaks English, I'm out of my community. You are wrong. There are a lot of Spanish-speaking people throughout the country, and there are a lot of people who speak Spanish in other areas where they don't have document translation available to them that speak Spanish. And we all know what's going on with the government right now. I mean, I hate to bring that up, but like I'm telling you, I'm seeing a huge uptick in people getting their documentation together. The time is now. You've got about 3 years until we get on a better road with things of people pulling their documents together, getting them their birth certificates translated, putting them together for immigration. That has caused a major uptick that I've seen, and I'm getting more and more phone calls. I'm trying very hard to bring them over to Manuel and let him speak, and I'm looking at getting a phone line that says press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish, and so it'll go directly to Manuel. And hopefully I can partner with more bilingual notaries. But for your own business, you can do this right away because you can be option 1 and option 2 on the phone line. Just let me know what language you want to speak. So right out the gate, you have a national presence just by converting your website to do both languages. Did I have to type out all the words twice? No. There's a machine in the back of Wix. It cost about, for my website was about 350,000 words, not kidding you. It cost me about $400 to translate the entire website. Well worth it. But now I'm bringing in the business of people speaking Spanish and I don't have someone in place to speak Spanish. So you're at an advantage that Unlimited Ink is not even an advantage at even yet. So I just want to throw that in there on that part, Manuel.
Thank you, Rennie. For being an apostille facilitator, it's not just marketing that you are an apostille facilitator, but also it comes with doing your own research to know how much you should charge, right? What your market bears. Also getting educated, right, on this aspect. Get trained, get the training that whatever fits your best for you, right? I believe John Nelson has a great program for getting trained as an apostille facilitator. If you think he's a good fit, get trained. And we're gonna leave this slide by leaving you guys with the marketing tip, so in Spanish, right? So, and this is the way it would sound. Otorgamos servicio en español. Facilitamos el apostillamiento de sus documentos legales para uso en el extranjero. When Spanish, and unfortunately I only speak Spanish and English, right? I wish I could speak more languages, but when a customer that speaks Spanish only sees that I am advertising apostille services in Spanish, right? I get their attention and I get them to click on my website or call me, right? Because I'm talking their language, and this is huge for you to also list on your website if you have one, or the Google Business Profile. Translation services is also right now pretty huge one. That it's providing obviously more service to your clients, right? I am a member of, I have an affiliate link with Idiomatic, and I am the middleman. Although you can just provide what Gabriel Sturgis He has it as a tier one and tier two commission, passive income. And I use this company all the time, right? Every time somebody comes to me, I always ask, do you need a translation? Yes, I can either be the middleman, or I can. And when I said the middleman, you have that choice, right? Whether handling the translation for them, or they can do it themselves by providing just a link that Idiomatic provides you. Um, Ronnie, I'm sorry. Once again, can you elaborate on the translation facilitator opportunity when it comes to
Sure.
tier one and tier two?
Sure. And then Kirsten, if you're here, if you could drop into the chat how people can get involved in becoming a facilitator for document translations. So first thing I want to say is that document translations are definitely a gateway to apostilles. About 50% of my document translations turn into apostilles. And you do need very little training on how this works. We're always talking about it once a month here at Notary Stars on our Monday nights. But if you are interested in becoming, getting into document translations, you can do multiple languages, but Spanish is one of the big languages. Now, if you're speaking Spanish and you're from Mexico, that is Spanish, but there are many countries out there that speak Spanish, right? And there are different processes that they have to go through to get apostilled. Now, Manuel's right. There's two ways to do this. You can just refer business to Idiomatic and get the affiliate. However, you make more money if you charge the client, input the order to Idiomatic, manage it, get it back to the client. For instance, Gabriel charges for most documents $30. I charge $50. Then when it needs to be certified, I charge $50. But if they give me 10 documents to be translated, and I pull out a calculator because I do not do math in my head. So they give me 10 documents to be translated. I charge 50. That's $500. Okay. Now 10 times 30, Manuel is going to charge me 300. So I'm making $200. Then I charge $50 for every order. Doesn't matter if you have 1,000 documents or one document. It's a $50 certification. I have them certified online in states that accept electronic signatures. In Arizona with an Arizona notary, I pay them 25 and I pocket 25. So on a single document, I'm making $45 for one document and I'm not doing anything. I literally just import the order to Idiomatic and then I turn around. For every additional document, it's additional $20. So there's a huge opportunity of making money for document translations if you know how to kind of be the middleman for that. You don't have to mark them up. You can just work with the pricing that Gabriel has. Just keep credit card processing in place. Especially if you're charging credit cards, you are going to pay credit card processing, so you got to mark it up something, and because you're going to cut into your 20% commission. But if you just upload it to them, it's 20% commission. Now, if you ask me, if you get into document translations and you send it over Idiomatic, Idiomatic does not specialize in apostille. They don't refer business for apostille at this moment, although I'm really tugging on Gabriel's heart to do that. You're just pushing your business out the door because they're going to go get it apostilled and you don't talk about apostille. The customer goes somewhere else. In fact, I have students in my class that are getting this off the ground. They're not doing apostille yet. And then sometimes the customers are asking me, can I just do everything through you? And I tell them, no, you already started with this company. We can handle the apostille portion. You can make a lot more money doing translations. And here's the thing, it's multiple languages. And I'll just run through a list of some of the people, and when I hear these things, you're going to be like, wow, I never knew I could be a part of all those things. Destination weddings. Anybody getting married in another country has to have their documents apostilled, even if they're only having the service done there. So all of those people on destination weddings have to have, they're going to Greece to get married, they're going to Spain to get married. Those are high-end clients who pay good money for things, and they have to have every missionary going from each destination has to have their birth certificate done for the country that they're going to. And guess what? The church pays for that. They're going to come to you and the church is going to pay for it. Anybody going as a doctor or a nurse working overseas, those are huge clients. You may think, gosh, there's probably not that many documents to be translated. If you're divorcing in another country, that divorce in the United States has to be translated and apostilled to go to the next country so that they can prove that that was just not fabricated somehow. So there is a lot of reasons that documents are translated, and I'm still finding out about new ones every day. It's kind of blowing my mind what people need them for. It's just amazing. And I encourage you, if you get on the translation facilitator opportunity, to become the middleman. You will enjoy it, and you can actually work 9 to 5 with it because you can just simply explain all government offices are only open 9 to 5. I can only process orders for you 9 to 5. And I'm actually enjoying that part of being a facilitator because we all know being a notary is the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep if we want to get enough portion of the cheese to eat that day. So I recommend doing translation facilitator and making sure your clients understand that portion of your business is definitely 9 to 5. You must submit orders by a certain time to get them assigned by a certain time, and so forth.
Thank you, Ronnie. And conclusion, turning skills into opportunity. Again, being a bilingual is so important. And if the people that are bilingual, if you are not marketing it, it's like you're not a bilingual, right? And we want to. I just cannot stress the importance of marketing. Like for instance, in my business, I get like 75% of Hispanic. Those are my clients. The other 25%, it's just people that speaks only English, right? So that's huge. So if I was not a bilingual and if I was not marketing it, I would not be in business with just the 25%. And lastly, this is my message, my own words. Your language is your leverage. Use it to open doors, serve more people, and grow your notary business. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having this, Manuel. I would love for anybody who has questions about the presentation to raise their hand and interact with the community. And also, we are starting to do this regularly on Saturdays. This is Manuel's time, guys. I'd love for you to keep an eye out for these sessions. Let us know, let Manuel know what you want to hear about, so that he can tailor these sessions for you. You know, I hate to be like Manuel, but he has gone through the entire Notary Stars loan signing agent canon and translated it all into Spanish, teaching the classes. Every single file that Beth teaches on, Manuel has now gone through and made sure that that same standard of training is in the Spanish speaking, for the Spanish speaking community. So if you are a Spanish speaking bilingual notary, please make sure you take advantage of that as well. You know, the other thing that I want to ask the community, and I would, if you haven't followed Manuel on Instagram, please follow him on Instagram. Notary Stars really strongly believes in expanding more into the Spanish speaking community. We are doing everything that we can, but we need you guys' help. It almost felt like starting over, looking at the screen today, seeing, up to 40 people logged in today. When we first started Notary Stars, I remember there was one person on the first call, and I was like, we're going to teach like there's 500 people there. I'm going to tell you my true feeling about the Spanish speaking community in particular. I know that there's more than one language on hopefully on the call today, but my true feeling is that it is highly overlooked as a job career choice in a lot of Spanish speaking communities. I really feel that next door to me in Glendale, there are brilliant women working at banks that don't quite appreciate them for their ability to speak 2 languages and service all the customers that come in on a Friday, and they're not paying her enough. You all know someone in the Spanish speaking community that works a job that is fully capable of doing this. Sure, we don't want to create too much competition for ourselves, but we also don't want to be unfair to grow that side of the notary community. to let people know that this is available for them. I always think about people who are working really hard jobs, like a manager of a fast food restaurant that is bilingual. That is a tough ass job, like really tough. I've done it. I've worked in fast food, and there are, if I'm smart enough to get out and do this, then anybody else out there can be too. We do need to tap our brothers and sisters on the shoulder and say, hey, listen, there may be a better career path for you. If you see someone being taken advantage of in their job, and let them know about becoming a notary. Again, you don't want to flood the market, but at the same time, be selective and bring more good notaries in. In the Spanish speaking community alone, there is a lack of notaries, nationwide. There may be more in certain clusters, but overall, in highly populated areas, and I have to tell you, the Spanish speaking population is there. That is needed for these types of things. If somebody grows up speaking Spanish, they may speak perfect English, but it just might be easier for them to do a loan transaction hearing it in Spanish because they're more comfortable and they catch things quicker. It's not as hard for them to listen to someone go through the documents. We all know that it's not just point and sign, right? Like we have to explain what those documents mean. And for somebody that's the signer side, there needs to be more Spanish speaking notaries so that there can be a higher level of customer service. I hate telling people, I'm sorry, we only have 10 Spanish speaking notaries within 50 miles, and the only one that we can get to you is tomorrow when everyone else gets their order today. That's where we are, guys. We need to bring more Spanish speaking notaries to the forefront and make them strong.
Manuel, you
Miss
have,
Olivia-
oh, I'm sorry. You must have froze. I didn't know you were still talking. Sorry, Ronnie.
Oh, it's okay. I was just going to say Miss Olivia's got her hand raised.
Yes, and there's a question in the chat for Manuel as well. Go ahead and unmute Olivia and ask your question.
Okay, one of them was,
The thing in
okay,
in other states.
okay, thank
Manuel.
you.
Manuel, can I add? Single status affidavit is known by a lot of different things, and it is available and needed for most countries. And then, yeah, they'll be available. I think you can get one on travel.state.gov. But yeah, they are known by many different names. I'm trying to look it up right now.
So does that mean that it's just for getting married outside of the United States? Is that what you're saying or referring
Yes.
to? Oh, okay, okay.
Certificate of no impediment to marriage, affidavit of single status, no record of marriage, certificate of no public record, letter of singleness, affidavit of civil status, declaration of single status, certificate of freedom to marry, affidavit of eligibility to marry, unmarried certificate. So there's tons of different names.
Okay, thank you
But
so
that's
much.
all what it boils down to, yes.
And just keep in mind that not every county will take any it has to be a specific for their county.
Okay, thank you.
Melissa, you're next.
Okay, hi. Thanks, Manuel, for this
Hi,
class.
Melissa.
Hi. Quick question. I clicked on that. You want to be listed as a notary apostille agent, and it shows me how to go there, like looking for it, but I didn't see where to sign up.
What was your question again?
When I clicked on the link for the find a notary apostille agent, so people can be on the apostille list of couriers or agents. I thought I was on it before because I filled out something, but I went there and it just shows kind of like for someone going there. I didn't see where to sign up on it. At the find a notary apostille.
Ronnie, you're muted.
If you look at the top right-hand corner, you'll see apostille agents list here.
Yeah. Okay, so then we can put our name on there like that?
Yes, that is if you want to be a part of the website, yes.
Oh,
But you're in my marketing class, so check the apostille list for the runners there. So it's also listed there, but check there if you want to be listed as an agent or a runner there. So check that.
Melissa,
Check
I
that
put
first.
the link in the chat for you, Melissa. Check your DM.
okay. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. All right, I don't see any more hand raised there. Mr. Manuel, did we check the chat to see if there's any questions in the chat?
Yeah, I'm looking for the one that Mrs. Beth brought up that I had a question.
Yeah, and
Looking for
unfortunately,
Oh.
because I got bumped out and came back in, I can't see the previous chat messages, so can't help you, Curry.
Anna put something I think is really important in the chat. She said, I think in my case, being bilingual in English and Russian might be hindering my business. It's all the animosity against Russia. I am considered taking it out. I would say, Anna, please don't. I will tell you that the Russian community that is in the United States is in desperate need of notaries. So I would not take that out of my business. I would not separate that. And you can change people's opinions by being a great notary and being bilingual and helping bridge that gap. It's being afraid of being who we are that is the wrong move to make in any language. I have tons of Russian friends. I was actually married to a Russian at one point in my life. I'm very familiar with the community in Florida, Russian community in Los Angeles, and I know that there's a huge Russian community in the Northwest. And I believe in New York as well. I'm not sure where you are, but I will tell you that in Colorado, if you're in a Russian speaking community, please do not take that out. And I will tell you, there's a lot of great business people that speak Russian. And you know that. I think you and I have actually talked about this
Yes,
before.
we did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are a lot of
And
great business people who speak Russian.
yeah, I know. And the thing is, I have nothing to do with Russia, the country. My family immigrated 34 years ago from Soviet Union before the breakup.
Right.
And we actually lived in Ukraine.
Hmm.
So, but I don't know the Ukrainian language. I understand it. I lost it over time. When you don't use it, you lose it. But I do have Russian, so when for us it's just a language we communicate.
One way that you can remedy that easily in and when you do speak about yourself, say I'm a proud immigrant to the United States. You know, I'm a proud. I mean, if you immigrated here, say I'm a proud immigrant to be here. Let people know that you're proud to be in America, and bridge the gap of their perception right from the get-go. Instead of just saying I'm bilingual, let them know like I immigrated, 32 years ago or 30 plus years ago, immigrant, proud immigrant of 30 years. Let them know I've been here for 30 years. So you can nip their perception in the bud if you feel that that may be something that they're overcoming, that you need to
It's
overcome.
the calls have just dried out. They
It's
weren't,
also a
I
slower
wasn't
time.
busy. I wasn't busy to begin with because I just started in May.
Mhm.
But once in a while, a couple of calls a week I was getting, and I was hoping to kind of grow it, and then I put it in and it was dry.
Well, that can all be based on how you're marketing and what you're doing to market. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's not just loan signings anymore that's
I
available
know.
to us. And
Yeah.
so lots of us are surviving on many different branches coming out of the notary
Mm-hmm.
world. So I don't believe
Okay.
that it has to do with the language, but you
I'll be
can
patient.
overcome that. Yes.
There's nothing else I can do.
Well, you can continue to market. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
free
what I'm
ways to
doing.
market. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ronnie, Annette Smith Briggs, she asked, is this just for Spanish speaking, right? So absolutely not. This every class that I teach, it applies not only for Spanish speaking, but for everyone that speaks more than one language other than English. So the same terms apply for if you speak like Russia or Vietnamese, the same um, idea applies for all those languages.
All right. Mr. Manuel, I think we are about 4 minutes past the hour. Just want to make sure, are there any other questions from the team saw in the chat that we needed to address? All right.
I don't see
Mr.
anything.
Manuel, I'm going to ask everybody if they could please turn on their cameras so that we can give you our signature wave for being the guiding light for this episode. So if everybody could turn on their camera for just a moment. I know it's Saturday, you might still be in your PJs, but that's okay. I'm wearing booty shorts down here. So let's turn on the camera and let's give Manuel a signature wave. Let's show him some love today for putting this together. He did amazing slides. If you got here later in the day, he did a wonderful job on those slides.
Thank you.
We'll get it reposted with the slides. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you being here.